Hi guys, Ben here and welcome to Motivation to Invest. Mark Cuban is one of the greatest entrepreneurs of all time. A Shark Tank regular and billionaire owner of the Dallas Mavericks, Mark Cuban started his investing journey at just 12 years old by selling garbage sacks because his dad wouldn't buy him a new pair of training shoes. He then founded a company called Broadcast.com, which he grew for over 5 years before selling it to Yahoo for $5 million. With a net worth of $4.3 billion, Mark Cuban approaches business like a sport and is highly competitive. So in this video, I'm going to reveal Mark Cuban's top 15 rules for success in investing, business, and life. Be sure to stick around to the end for a bonus success tip, which will surely change your outlook on life and light a fire underneath you to succeed in whatever you do. If you appreciate the value of this video, be sure to hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm. And definitely subscribe for more investing tips, exclusive stock picks, and motivation for success. Now let's dive in.
The passion I've always had for business and being an entrepreneur that transfers into the Mavs, I've always been passionate. Some people thought, it's more OCD than anything else, which I think is a great trait for an entrepreneur. When I mentioned the stamp business, I would stay up till 3, 4 in the morning, even though I had to get up and go to school, and read Lynn's Stamp News and Scott's Stamp Journals and have them all memorized and use that to give myself an edge. Even when I was in college, I'd be in the library reading business books and just looking for business biographies and just reading all I could about business. When I had Micro Solutions and I started with no money, I'd pull all-nighters in front of borrowed computers, teaching myself software and how to program.
But tell me something, where does that passion come from in you? And tell me, if people think they don't have it, do they have it? How can they find it? How do you keep it?
That's a great question, because I don't know if I'm wired that way. I kind of feel like I am, but I'm just the most competitive guy that you'll ever meet. To me, like you were saying, business is a sport, and I just have always got to be competing. I've got to always try to win. And I wasn't good enough at athletics, but when I got into business, I realized that I wasn't just competing against an opponent for 48 minutes in a game or 60 minutes. You're competing against everybody who ever might compete with you, and that just keeps me going.
That's the whole world.
That's the whole world, right? And there's always some 18-year-old kid trying to come in and kick your butt. And to me, that keeps me young, that keeps me motivated, that keeps me hungry, because I never want to get kicked off that perch.
Do you agree that hunger is the most important element? I'm curious, or do you disagree? I see people very smart, very educated, but they're not hungry, and they never maximize their abilities. What do you think?
I think it's effort. So if hunger creates effort, then yes, absolutely, it's about hunger.
I'm not Mr. Mentor. I'm not the one who says, let's sit down, tell me how it's going. I'm going to tell you exactly how I am. Get off your ass and get out there and sell something.
That's right.
I mean, I've never been I need a mentor. A lot of people look for mentors thinking they're going to tell me the shortcut. Mark, will you be my mentor? You know the way. And they think I'm going to go, ooh, and convey some magics. Here's the dust. Go, go, go. It doesn't work that way. I still grind. I love to grind. If you're competing in one of my businesses, I'm going to kick your ass because I'm going to outgrind you. Right? That's what being an entrepreneur is. You've got to get out there and do the work. So when it comes,
if you're putting in the sweat and you're putting in the time and you're not out there raising money and you're grinding it out and you're hustling, then you deserve to give yourselves a hand, because that's what it's all about. Because if you don't do that, it's not going to work.
So how do you learn? Right? Because that's the question. How do I learn this stuff? Man, everybody has got to go through that process. Right? I'm in the tech business, I'm in the media business, the entertainment business. I've got to try to prepare myself for all the Shark Tank businesses. I read 3 hours plus a day. Right? Well, everybody else is getting a suntan, or even when I'm getting a suntan, I'm online, or I've got books, I'm reading all I can.
The way we ran our business, it was just like lean and mean, right? You invest in your product, you invest in your customers, you invest in your people,
And, you know, we had open offices. You don't need fancy stuff. They immediately came down and just redid all the furniture in purple and gold. I'm like, it's cool. That's my high school's colors, you know? But why are we spending this money? Got a whole new office, a whole new building. You know, I'm just like, why are we spending this money? One of the things in my rules, right, when I look at companies to invest in, if someone walks in with swag, here's my coffee mug with my logo, here's your t-shirt with my logo. I don't see anybody wearing a t-shirt with a startup's logo. Do you? No. Would you wear some other startup's logo polo shirt? Hell no. Hell no, right? It's just a waste of money. You know, put your money where you're able to differentiate yourself and add value that separates yourself so you can get ahead.
I was never the one to like chase the sector. Oh, this is hot. Because you have to ask yourself, who are you competing with? And whatever you do, you have to ask yourself, what's your edge? Right? What is the one thing that gives you a competitive edge? If you don't have an answer, you can't start that company. You're going to lose. Right? I said it before, if you're trying to compete with me, you better know a whole lot more than I do about whatever business we're in, because otherwise, I'm going to kick your ass. Right? So you have to ask yourself, what is your competitive advantage? And with that competitive advantage, what's the best way for me to get customers who are willing to write me a check? One of my skill sets has always been, I've been able to walk into any type of business and understand their company. You know, understand how they make money, understand how they compete. So I can walk into a shoe store, I can walk into a hospital or whatever and say, all right, here's my technology, here's how it gives you an advantage. And I try to do the same thing. On Shark Tank, you hear us say it all the time. What is your competitive advantage? Just saying it's my passion. Do you ever walk into 7-Eleven and say, wow, I'm shopping here at 7-Eleven because they're really passionate? No, right? And when you go and you think about your own buying decisions. What makes you decide to buy? Now you might want to support veteran-owned businesses. When it's a toss-up, yes, right? But at some point you have to grow beyond the community and you have to be able to say, you can walk into any situation and know without any doubt in your mind, this is why you are the best product or service and you are the best company to provide that product or service. Period, end of story. If you can't do that, you have to ask yourself, who is doing it? What are they doing that gives them that edge? What allows them to compete or help their customers better than you can? Right, because that's what it's all about. We all as consumers make buying decisions. And the people who are buying our stuff, product or service, use the same thought process for those buying decisions. So always put yourself in your potential customer's shoes. What is it that I have that makes it a no-brainer for them to buy from me? If it's, I'm nice, I'm passionate, you're in trouble, right? There's gotta be something, because even if you can get some customers, how are you gonna grow it? How are you gonna sustain it? And what's gonna keep the next person from coming in and doing the same thing? Because look, with success comes additional challenges. The more you succeed, the more people say, damn, okay, that's an opportunity. I think I can do that better. And so success isn't, look where I'm at. Success is go, 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 right? I mean, people say, wow, you've done this. I'm still going, right? To me, business is the ultimate sport. And there's nobody on the face of the earth that's more competitive than I am.
You just have to try different things, and even if 99% of them fail, you only have to be right one time. You don't have to figure it all out in advance. You can be wrong, you can pick the wrong career, you can pick the wrong job, you can pick the wrong spouse, you can pick the wrong whatever. But you get it right one time, you're set. But if you don't try, and if you don't go out there and try all those different things, you'll never get that one time. And so it's not a question of, okay, how much different stuff do I do, or how many different things should you try? Try them all. Try them all until you find the one you like. And then it's like, it gets really easy, because even when shit fucks up, you're on a mission. You're loving what you do, you know, and then it gets easy. And so that's just the approach I've always tried to instill in people who work for me and myself. I also always say, it's not about passion. Everybody's got passion for something.
Yeah.
Right? Don't follow your passions, follow your efforts. Because people say, I was passionate to play baseball. I was passionate to play basketball.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean all of a sudden I was going to be good enough.
Yeah.
But I found myself being really curious about business, being really curious about technology. And that curiosity is really what drove me. And I think, particularly if you're young today, curiosity is great. Always learning and trying to find new things and being curious about new things, because that's what leads you to that path. Trying to figure out in advance, that's hard because you don't know what you don't know.
I think the biggest lie in all of business, if you will, or all of mentoring is follow your dreams. Because if you think about it, we all have dreams. I started off wanting to be a baseball player. Then I dreamed of this, I dreamed of that, right? And then you realize that where you should go is where your effort takes you. You find yourself, I practiced baseball and basketball and loved it, but then I found myself spending more time with business and learning about business and running business or being involved with business. It was really my effort that drove me. So I always tell people, don't follow your dreams, follow your effort. Where are you willing to put in the time? Where are you hungry enough to put in the time?
When I talk to entrepreneurs, you have to make a decision what's important to you. Time to go out and do whatever, be whoever you are, help whoever you want to help, raise your family, whatever it is, or do you want to create a world-class company? What is your goal? And you have to understand your goals, and there should always be a price. If it is about selling at some point, what's the price? I just had conversations with 2 of my companies today. Like, you always have to have a price in mind, and then you put that price out there because someone might say yes.
So always be open to it.
Well, just always know why you're there.
Right.
What is it that causes you to work 24 hours a day? What is it that causes you to dream about this company? What is it that gets you so fired up you can't think about anything else? What is it just that you just say, this is me, right? I am, what is it that drives you? And if you understand that, then deciding to sell or not to sell is easy.
Be prepared. Understand, put yourselves in the shoes of the people or the businesses that you're working with. The message that I just got on Cyberdust is a perfect example. If he would have put himself in my shoes, it would be obvious that Cyberdust is important to me. I'm trying to push everybody to message using it. I volunteered, and Dave mentioned that, hey, I'm going to be answering questions long after this is over from you people, from everybody sending me messages. So Cyberdust is obviously important to me. And so if you're able to do something that reflects something that's important to me, or whoever it is that you're working or trying to get a job with, or trying to get an internship with, or trying to get an investment from, if you can put yourself in their shoes and put yourself in context of what's important to them, your chances of being successful increase 99%, 1,000-fold, right? And one other point I'll leave with you, right? If you're working for somebody, the best way to be successful is by reducing the stress of those around you. It's not about you. I mean, it's always about me, but that's a different point. But it's not about you. It's about the people around you. If you're reducing the stress of the people around you, those people start to gravitate towards you. They want to work with you because you make going to work easier, more pleasant. You help them accomplish their goals. You help put them in a position to succeed by reducing their stress.
But when we talk about new companies and growth and success, there really is only one common ingredient across any type of business, whether it's oil or computers or software or anything, and that key ingredient is customers. Without customers, whether you're starting a business, running a business, expanding a business, you don't have a business. There is no business. Customers are the key ingredient. To get those profits, you got to have the customers. And you got to have happy customers. That's the bottom line.
When people think about going to sporting events, and I'll use this as an example, you don't remember the jump shots after a while. You don't remember the home runs. You don't remember the touchdowns. You don't remember the score. You remember the experience. We remember who took us. Our first game with our mom or our dad. We remember how we felt when we won that game. Going to a sporting event, it's one of the few places where you're allowed to stand up and scream at the top of your lungs, and you're encouraged to scream as loud as you want. And if someone hits a game-winning jumper, you're hugging people and high-fiving people you've never seen in your life and you'll never see again. And you're walking out of the arena, singing and chanting and screaming. And if you lose that game, you're bummed out, and the entire city or the entire school can be bummed out.
So when we sell the Mavericks, we don't sell basketball. We sell unique experiences. And so you've got to understand in your business exactly what the differentiation is and what the compelling aspect of that business is. But think about what you do as a consumer. What is it that makes you make the choices that you make? Why do you buy a certain thing? Why do you shop a certain place? Why do you go to a certain website? Those are the keys.
My, manage the portfolio trader hat, and not so much a trader, but manage the portfolio. It's great. Anytime there's volatility and any time there's change, there's opportunity. Now, I say it's great because I've taken a whole different approach to investing than most people. I think buy and hold's a crock of shit. I think, the idea that you always have to invest your cash is not far behind. And so I've always been of the attitude that unless you really have a commitment to something, just keep your money in cash, knowing that at some point in time, there's going to be a week or two like we've had.
But how much time, you've got a lot going on in your life. How much time do you have to actively manage your portfolio through these 500-point market swings?
Well, see, that's the whole thing. I don't have to spend much time until it hits the fan. Right, so a lot
of hitting the fan this week.
Well, that's exactly right, and that's where the opportunity is. Like, I wouldn't look at my portfolio, or I get a one-line, one-number statement every day from my bank, and that tells me if anything weird happened, and I wouldn't even look at it. But then when everything starts getting crazy, I call it the World Series of investing. That's when you start digging in. Third is be prepared. People are like, oh, you're such a risk taker. I don't take risks. Right? When you walk into the room, if you don't know more about your business, your industry, your company, your customer than everybody else in the world, you're lying to yourself that you don't know shit then, right? Because someone like me is going to just kick your ass. Seriously, right? If you walk in and there's somebody else who knows your business and your industry better than you, why would they buy from you? The one thing in business that you can control, your effort. Your effort. Period, end of story. One thing you do is you use the transactional value of cash. A lot of people say, you're losing money to inflation when you just have cash in the bank. I completely disagree. I know I'm going to be buying a bunch of toothpaste for my family. I know toilet paper. I know all the consumables that I have. I can take my cash and go get a better value. I can take my cash and go buy service.
Store up?
Yeah. Yeah, why not? How much space does toothpaste take, but you're going to spend. But that's the whole thing. The time it takes just to figure out your budget, which nobody does. The time it takes just to analyze your spending habits, you can get a better return and you'll end up with more cash than trying to fight the John Paulsons of the world and these guys who have hundreds of analysts who are working for them. Why would you try to do better than them?
You can't win.
You can't. And now it's 100 times worse because of all the program trading.
But if you have enough money that you have to put some of it somewhere, to park some of it somewhere and hope to make a return on it, where do you put it?
What I do, I don't think you have to make a return on it because I'd rather sleep well at night. I put it in cash, literally. Now, obviously, I'm in a different position where I don't have to live off of the interest paying me 1 basis point off of cash, right? But at the same time, having that dry powder, if you will, available when weeks like today or weeks like this week hit and days like yesterday and today
and you see an opportunity.
And you see an opportunity, then you're ready to take it.
Most people really are concerned about what people think about them. It holds them back. You never, ever, ever, ever have. It's not a part of who you are. Is that your DNA or where did that come from?
I don't know. I just never gave a Yeah, it's just, once you get success in something, even when look, I failed many times, and you learn from those failures that it doesn't hurt as bad as you thought, that you can bounce back. And then once you taste some success, you realize it doesn't matter how many times you failed, right? You only have to be right one time, then everybody's always an overnight success, or, this came easy to them. You just got to keep on grinding and keep on trying new things. And once you start feeling the success, you realize, look, it doesn't matter what the other people think, other than my customers, other than my, my partners, other than my employees. I care what they think, but from the outside looking in, I was always just so focused that I just never, I got distracted from time. I don't want to say never distracted, but, I just didn't want anybody else. I didn't want to think that how people saw me was a reflection of the job I was doing. If my customers were happy, if my stakeholders were happy, I was happy. Shark Tank, I do the show not because they're great investments, but I do the show because it sends the message to kids 8 to 80 that the American dream is alive and well.
you can watch the show and come to realize that somebody out of Iowa or, the middle of nowhere in Texas can start a company and, turn it into something special. And I think, so many families watch the show together that it's just, particularly in this day and age when so many people are saying what's wrong with this and what's wrong with that and what's wrong with America, it just really reinforces that, somebody with an idea who's willing to, go beyond just an idea to a company phase and really work, something special can happen. And just reinforcing that is really important to me.
So which success rule resonated with you? I genuinely wish to know what inspires you. So comment that below. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead, smash that like button and definitely subscribe. See you next time.
Coming in, flex, I just wanna win, LABB who we running with, coming in, flex, I just wanna win,